Temple Rome, I think, has been such an example of what a campus abroad can be for 50 years thus far. The foresight that the Tyler School of Art founders had in 1966 when they showed up here in Rome and chose this very space to create a study abroad program was truly remarkable. The possibilities are almost endless. We are coming from such a position of strength.
E gli artisti che sono passati in questi anni hanno fatto delle opere stupende, tutte sugli aeroplani Caproni. Amo moltissimo la Temple University perché ultimamente siamo anche riusciti a fare un premio Gianni Caproni, il ricordo del mio papà.
The fact that the city is so much older than Philadelphia was the first thing I think that hit you. Going to the Coliseum, going to the Trevi Fountain, the Spanish Steps, just the thousands of years of history that's there in contrast to our country.
Because the campus is located in Rome, all of our students are exposed to, on a daily basis, all the culture that represents thousands of years of Western civilization. And as a result, they don't have to go to a museum to really be confronted with the beauty, the bloodshed of Western civilization.
To be in the city, the physical city, is so beautiful, and beneath the surface there's a poetry and a meaning to the place, maybe appreciation of some of the simpler things in life.
It's hard to see in Rome until you get into the neighborhoods and you start to talk to Italian people, but the lifestyle is much slower. People are much more relaxed. They love spending a lazy Sunday with their family.
You become very aware that you are very much American in a European country and in an Italian country. There's a total difference in communication. There's a difference in transportation. There's a difference in just basic culture, customs, how you greet people, how close you get to people, how you dress, things you talk about.
Within the second day of being in Rome, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with Rome. I fell in love with Italy. You feel the history all the time. You feel it through the stones beneath your feet. You see it in the sculpture that's everywhere on the buildings.
I was just struck by the very different cultural milieu. Much of Renaissance and Baroque art really needs to be seen in person. That was a really profound experience.
Life is just this constant discovery of self, and if we become complacent and become comfortable with what we're doing, we really miss out on a lot of wonderful things. So at the age of 50, I went to Rome.
I decided to come to Rome because I wanted to learn Italian. So I studied abroad in 2013 and 2014. I went back to Philadelphia, but I always had this desire to come back to Rome. When I got a notification that there was this job opening up at Temple Rome, I hopped on it.
The first days in Rome were a marvel in all ways. I did go back to the United States because I was a freshly minted MFA, and I found my way back across the ocean and found some jobs, one of them here as it turned out. I just felt I had to come back.
I found out about Temple Rome when I was an art student at Tyler School of Art. I was quite lucky because I was a gymnast, and part of the way I kind of fit into Rome was finding a gym where I ended up teaching gymnastics and making friends. Now, 45 years later, I still have the same friends.
I think I first went to Temple Rome in the early 1980s. I taught a class in Renaissance art and also the art of Rome. For the students, it was an extraordinary experience, considering that many of them had never been out of the country.
I went to Rome for the first time in 1999 as a faculty member, and the reason I did that is that my oldest child, then in 6th grade, was studying ancient history, talking about how, interesting the Greeks and the Romans and all that stuff was.
In 2003, I came to Temple Rome and began to teach the history of art. Rome is the most wonderful classroom.
My aunt actually went here to Temple Rome 22 years ago. She also told me that, you know, she had the best time. I probably would have been a lot more hesitant about coming here. Temple Honors Program does a really great job of just telling kids, you know, hi, like, welcome to Temple, now please leave. And please go experience something. Do something worthwhile since you have the opportunity.
We were in Rome in September of 2013. I found myself thinking about the multiple layers of history all the time, on every street corner, at every time of the day.
The first time I went to Temple Rome was actually my first time in Rome ever. It was 2007. I brought my 3 children, stepping into this old villa about 4 or 5 blocks from Temple's campus, and getting to kind of walk through cobblestone streets. Literally heard accordion music the first night I was there. It was magical from the first day.
I started to do a mini course, bringing students out into the city once a week for a few hours. And then that mini course developed into the full course. It's called Galleries and Studios. And one of the most recent art forms that has been exploding in Rome is urban art. And when we go out and look for urban art, we look for it in the least likely tourist centers.
I think it was 92, 93. It was the best teaching experience of my career, especially for an art historian to teach on site as a way of living with the works that are the substance of my discipline.
Rome is a wonderful place to learn, to grow, of course to eat, to learn about European history and the importance of European history on the development of law in the United States.
What makes Rome special is having a studio amidst a location where you're experiencing some of the most important works of art in the history of art. The inspiration that I drew from the city itself. Its architecture, the sense of space here, the sense of light.
I also took a sculpture class with a man whose name is Gagit. That was probably the best thing that I ever did because I was studying art history, it was really theoretical, really academic, and he was like, put the books down and really think with your hands.
Walking the streets of Rome is unlike any other city for me, including Paris. The age of the city, the history, the art, and the people, the contemporary people of Rome.
What we want here at Temple University of Rome, we want the students to have the best experience of their life, the best semester of their life. Some of them had never left US. Everything is different. The traffic in the city is different.
What Rome has that few other cities in Western Europe have is the complexity of its history and the way by which a stay in Rome makes you aware of the relativity of a single time period. Rome is a city of layers.
It's a different lifestyle, a different rhythm, a different way of interacting with people. That kind of an experience that our students can have in a different location, in a different country, really provides them with an experience for a lifetime.
We are coming from a 50-year history that has gained us respect and admiration and a very strong foothold here in Rome.
There are people that each generation are changing. They are looking forwards and not fighting for things who are not of our time. This is the best of Temple.
Italy gets in your blood. It gets under your skin. I have made so many long-lasting, wonderful friends who I'm still in contact with. What would I have done without Temple in my life?
One of my favorite memories is when we walked onto this balcony off the second floor, and you see spread across you what postcards are made of. You couldn't have painted the Italian countryside any better. Congratulations on the 50th anniversary of Temple Rome. How true the saying is, una vita non basta per Roma. One lifetime is not enough for Rome.